Hello, Captain Awesome. It's Ainsley here for your Daily Adventure Fest, your life mentor, teacher, and fun addict. So today, I wanted to talk to you guys about overthinking and how that is the biggest killer to your creativity, to your results, to your relationships with other people, to you actually coming up with solutions. And I'm going to share with you how I get out of it, because I am notoriously a huge overthinker. And so if something happens or something's going wrong, I will go over it and over it and over it and over it. I've gotten a lot better than I was. Like, I was shocking, and I used to have sleepless nights overthinking things that I had no control over. Or I did if I stopped thinking about it. Here's the problem. If you keep telling yourself to stop thinking about it, you will keep thinking about it, and you keep perpetuating those thoughts and those beliefs. And what you're doing is entrenching into your brain a way of thinking and a way of being. Because what you're doing is the more you think about it, the more meaning you add to it, right? The more stories you create around it. The more fears and limitations you will put around it, the more significance you put on it. It's feeding the monster. So in my training, I say it's like feeding the monster. So when you have any kind of negative thoughts, or positive thoughts even, then you're feeding a good monster. But you're feeding the monster. And so every time you overthink something, you feed the monster. You give it more life, you give it more energy, and you just keep it alive and going and going and going. Now, the problem with it, it's not enough to just stop thinking, okay? That'd be awesome. But we know that it's easier said than done by just going, stop thinking about it, and then you'll just instantly forget, like a Men in Black little taser thing or whatever they call it. I don't know. Going across your eyes, and then you forget you saw the aliens. That'd be good. Anyway, so with that, you need to look at it. That's why it's coming up. You need to really, really dig deep into what it is. Now, there's a fine line, okay? There's a fine line between overthinking something and really thinking into it so that you can come up with a solution or an answer or something that's going to give you some semblance of relief. And usually it's something about you, okay? And this is a tough pill to swallow for many. If you are overthinking something, there's something you're avoiding within yourself, within looking at yourself. And you need to really get honest with yourself about why that is. So say, for example, if you're dating someone and they're behaving a little bit off, okay? Now, you're going to overthink that naturally. Like, you're really into them, and then suddenly they're not talking to you as much, and they've cut you off a little bit, and so you're going to go over and over and over in your own head. What you need to do is go within. So instead of putting stories and blame on the other person, you've got to go within yourself and say, okay, so what am I creating in this situation? So it could be that maybe you were being too needy. Your energy was a bit too strong and a bit too full on for that person, so it scared them off. It might not have anything to do with you. But you don't have any control over that. You only have control over what you can do and the way you think. And so getting super honest with yourself, as uncomfortable as it is, will give you some semblance of relief, because now you're in control. Now you're like, okay, I see my part that I've played here, so now I know, okay, what I need to do to fix it. And so that's one of the main ways that will stop you from overthinking. The other thing is journaling as well. So writing it out, like really write it out. One thing that works for me a lot is I coach myself. So I'm like my own teacher or mentor, coach, whatever. And so I'll make a statement about how I feel about something. And then the question will be, well, why do you feel that way? Well, because of this. Well, why because of that? And then just dig deep into why questions, or you can use how questions as well. Well, how is that true? And so you can get a little bit creative here, because there's like two parts of your mind having this dialogue with each other. One's asking the questions, and the other one's coming up with the answers. And it's a really, really powerful way to get to the truth in a tangible way as well on paper, because you're writing it out and you can see, and you know your two minds are just going back and forth. Like, well, what about when you said this? You didn't. You've created that, and like my second part of my brain, the one that's doing the questions, can get a little bit bitey and pushy and aggressive towards the me that's in bullshit mode, which it really is. It's bullshit mode, and because I'm avoiding the truth. I'm avoiding getting into the core of why I'm overthinking and what behaviour I'm demonstrating or what I'm doing that's contributing to the thing that I'm overthinking. And I hope that makes sense. It's again, if I put it into dating terms in the overthinking, it's acknowledging, like with an ex of mine, for example. He was with someone else for 8 of the 10 months we were together. And, you know, it killed me. Like, he lied a lot, told all these lies about how he got a tattoo on his foot. It was meant for me, like me. There was meaning in there about me and some shit. But he was seeing someone else. And he fed me all of this bullshit. And obviously there was a ton of overthinking going on. But the reality of it was that I gave my power away. I gave my power away to him. But it was also the fact that I was with someone who was a notorious cheat, and I knew it. So it was like the minute I got honest with myself and said, well, you knew that. You knew that going in. So you kind of deserve what you get. I mean, no one deserves that, but he obviously had very different values about relationships than I do. And so it helped me really, it took a while, but it helped me really forgive and understand the choices that I made within that situation, and then move on and then go on to have another very healthy relationship, or a second, yeah, you know what I mean. And so that's the message for today, is with your overthinking, just those exercises, do those, get honest with yourself. Just got to get honest with yourself and say, okay, why am I overthinking this? What do I need to look at? Because you do need to look at it to overcome it, because otherwise it just keeps coming. It's like waves just rolling into the shore. It's just going to keep coming and coming until you deal with it, or it peters out and, you know, dissipates in its own time. So it depends on how quickly you want to move on from it. So if you want to work with me, if you want me to help you overcome your overthinking, overcome your insecurities, your fears, your self-doubt about your life, what you're doing, who you are, and help you figure out what you want, who you want to be, then all you need to do is go to ainsleym.com and contact me. Let me know what's going on. We can have a chat for 40 minutes to an hour about where you're at. And then if you want more help, the option is there. So I want you to have a cracking day.